Listen up.
On Christmas Eve 2019, just 10 days after corrupt police had allowed a perpetrator to dispose of significant evidence and intellectual property, my son was violently snatched by what is perhaps the Fraser Coast's most prolific perpetrator of domestic violence, a perpetrator that has been protected by corrupt Fraser Coast police for 4 years, whilst hell and all terror rained down on the children and the father. Whilst eating lunch at work, I received a call from my stepson, advising he'd been attacked and my 6-year-old son snatched, whilst screaming. We both then called 000. I expected the police to assist and act with integrity. Instead, we were subjected to the most disgusting breach of the Queensland Human Rights Act that we had experienced to date. Little did the children and I know that we were just embarking on the start of what is now a 4-year campaign by the corrupt police to cause as much lifelong psychological, physical and financial trauma as possible. I have a preliminary Crime and Corruption Commission assessment which states my complaint meets the threshold for corrupt conduct as defined by the Act. The children and I have been subjected to many corrupt incidents and offences, including the State of Queensland setting out to undermine the rule of law and the Federal Circuit Court of Australia. I have given the departments every opportunity to address their behaviour and conduct. For the safety of the children and I, to save us from the ongoing abuse of power and the devastating effect it has had on us, I must now make my Crime and Corruption Commission submission via this medium.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you ever saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, riding the hills. Someday the mountain might get them, but the law never will. Making their way, the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow.
Strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If it's something weird and it don't look good, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Afraid of no ghosts. If you're seeing things running through your head, who can you call?
I'm recording this.
Mate, the cop is good. Do whatever you like.
Look how she just drove. She's a maniac.
Good. Mate, don't sit down over there, buddy.
Oh, what are they doing to him? Let go of him now. Are you okay? Let go of him now.
Buddy, come on.
Let go of him now.
Aaron, come on. Just wait for the cop. The cop has been called, obviously. The cop has been called.
They're holding him down. They've been suffocating him,
He's
sexually
not
abusing
fucking
him.
suffocating you, man. He's that traumatised. He's fucking covering up for fucking shelter. That's what he's doing. All right?
How
That's
dare
what
you,
he's
Jeff?
fucking doing. How dare me do what, mate? I've never had kids. My kids didn't go through this shit. All right?
Jeff, I'm not the problem.
Mate, you're not the problem. Go and sit down there, buddy, and you will be.
Jeff, I'm not
You'll be
the
problem
problem.
until the coppers get here.
Jeff, I'm not the problem.
Mate, right, go and sit down over
Why
there.
are you with me?
I don't give a shit what they're doing, mate. I'm talking about you. Go and sit down over there.
Why are you with me?
Go and sit
Mate,
down
she
over
needs
there.
help. She needs safety.
She doesn't need nothing. She needs his mother at the moment. Go and sit down over on the bench. Wait for the coppers to get here. All right?
Do you know what they've been doing to...
I don't. Go and sit down on the bench. Yeah, sure, it's been going on for a long time. I'm positive it has. You're right. Go and sit down on the bench. Load of crap. Go sit down on the bench.
Are you okay? Do you want to come out? Do you still have the drugs here, Jeff? Have you moved? What nonsense is that?
Didn't you go to get a fucking reg thing for that thing and they knocked it back?
What are you on about, Jeff?
That fucking patrol out, that fucking cruiser out there you drive.
You guys aren't making any sense.
Good, good. You got the photos of all the plants, didn't you? I mean, there's, to run up the back, there's about 10 of them right up there. Quick, go. They're up there, mate, I'm fucking telling you. They're about 8 foot fucking tall. That's why I'm sitting there drinking piss, mate.
In this image, you see Jeff, his joint, and the water tank in the background.
Plant a few seeds, grow a few weeds, and the world don't look so crappy. Talk about marijuana.
In this video, we see the marijuana plants, a 13-year-old girl, and the water tank in the background. This image is taken from a current listing on realestate.com.au. The next marijuana video was filmed in front of the white ute under the carport. The next video was filmed between the water tank to the left and the barbecue to the right under the carport. At the top of the frame is the water tank and the base that the water tank sits on. This is the barbecue to the right of the carport that can be seen in the videos of the marijuana plants and also the video from Christmas Eve 2019.
Hang on, sis. The coppers are here now. Coppers are coming. I've tried to tell him, I'll just let the coppers in. Just let the coppers come.
It's all coming out in court. And
Beautiful.
are the
Let
most
it come out
incredible
in
people.
court, mate. Let it.
It did come out in court. There were 2 final parenting orders that placed the children in my care. It certainly did come out in court. And sadly, while these 2 are having fun having a go at me, no one is showing any concern for the children except for me.
Let it.
I then get assaulted by Jeff, and the children were subjected to 2 days of the mother and the grandmother who's just made an appearance. Following this incident and my frivolous arrest, the children were then subjected to 2 days of fighting, which they then disclosed to me and asked to never be allowed back there again.
The safety of my son is my highest concern.
That's why you...
It's all going to come out in court, Jeanette. Don't speak to me, please.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Buddy, I tell you what, I'll give you one piece of advice, Aaron. I went through what you were about to go through, all right? The trouble is, I didn't have a child assault case against me, and I got fucking screwed, buddy.
It was at this point I was assaulted by Jeff. He hit me in the chest and told me that I'm going to get screwed. Unfortunately, the people that got screwed the most were the children by the corrupt conduct and his family and his niece doing everything they could to use the system against the children and against the father. By being screwed, I presume he means the time that this matter dragged out, traumatising both myself and the children, and resulting in 2 sets of final parenting orders that placed the children in my care. They screwed the children, they screwed themselves, and they screwed the mother by feeding her adversarial campaign, which has resulted in them having no relationship with the children in the best interests of the
You are
children.
going to get screwed to the fucking wall. And the sooner it happens, the better. And that's
the
the
truth
only
is gonna come
advice I
out.
can give you.
Why is with me?
I don't give a fuck about
Of course
mate.
you don't, but the truth's going to come out,
Of
Jeff.
course.
The truth has been coming out, with the latest Federal Circuit Court ruling that the mother's an unacceptable risk to the children, as is he, his sister, and the rest of the family.
I don't want anyone to lay a finger on me.
Let him go, sis. Let him go. Just let him go. The coppers are here in a minute.
I haven't upset anyone. I haven't. What a disgrace.
Yeah. Hey, if that ain't the pot calling the fucking kettle black, tell me about it. I tell you what. Oh no, mate, I won't say nothing.
You have no idea how much evidence I have, Jeff.
Mate, I don't give a fuck what evidence you got. The fact is, the courts are going to look at it, man.
That's right, Jeff. The courts are going to look at the evidence. And whilst the courts are going to look at the evidence, the only thing that's going wrong here is that your family violently snatched a 6-year-old, using other children to snatch a 6-year-old. You guys are being aggressive. You guys are swearing. But when the police come, you claim it's the other way around. There's no integrity, decency, or honesty in treating children and their father like that.
You are going to get so fucking screwed. You have no idea.
Why am I going to get screwed, Jeff?
Financially, dickhead.
Unfortunately, the children are being subjected to this behaviour when all I did was respond reasonably, appropriately, and as any father would when their son's been violently snatched.
Happened to me. Trouble is, I didn't have a fucking assault charge against me.
What I did was reasonable discipline.
I don't get. No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It fucking was
It
not.
was.
Yeah, bruises around his neck, reasonable discipline. Nice handprint on.
There were no bruises around anyone's neck. I didn't touch anyone's neck, as the CCTV shows. The story that was invented to set me up. The CCTV shows that that was a setup. The marks that were on the person the next day. Both CCTV and police body cam footage show there was nothing wrong on the day. Not only was there nothing wrong, the person was jumping on the trampoline, jumped off the trampoline. They weren't injured. What they're failing to disclose is that the child was asked to lie to the police. That child now lives with me. That child was attacked by this family. That child was made homeless by this family. That child was driven to posting suicidal videos on Facebook by this family. And the only person that was there for that child was me after everything that was done to me. The only reason I had a child assault charge against me is because I asked my soon-to-be ex-wife to leave. I didn't grab anyone by the neck. Not only does my ex-wife know that, my ex-wife told the police that she watched the CCTV on her iPad. There is no excuse for getting her story wrong. She claims to have been there and witnessed the event. She then claims to have reviewed the footage on an iPad. And as such, if her recollection failed her, replaying the footage on the iPad should have clarified her recollection. However, when she spoke to police, her recollection and what she claims to have seen on the CCTV had no relationship with what was on the CCTV. Furthermore, at this point in time, I didn't know that the police had given the hard drives containing the CCTV, and there's a lot more to that story that will come out in a separate video. At this point in time, they knew, I didn't. At this point in time, they knew that Chris O'Brien, Detective Chris O'Brien from the Maryborough Child Protection Unit, had given the evidence that was seized with a court warrant. They had given the hard drives to the mother. The mother was then seen smashing the drives in front of two children and then returned the drives to the police on the 14th of December. It's now the 24th of December. They know they've destroyed the hard drives. The police know they gave them the hard drives. I'd made numerous recordings to the police asking for my hard drives, explaining what the CCTV will show, and did show. They didn't successfully destroy all the evidence. They certainly gave it a good crack. The CCTV proves they lied, and at this point in time, they believe all the evidence has been destroyed. They're telling me I'm going to get screwed. They're laughing when I say how much evidence I've got, whilst I'm still in the dark and still assume that there's some integrity to processes and policing. As far as they're concerned, the evidence had been destroyed, the hard drives had been smashed and returned to the police, and they thought it was game, set, match. However, the child they used against me now lives with me, and they all turned their back on that child. They asked the child to lie. That child has since disclosed that, although it's always been evident when you compare the evidence to the tall tales and the police manipulation and then the failures and then the corruption to cover up their stupidity.
One handprint on the arse, that's reasonable discipline. Like a Bruce march around the neck, you ought to be kidding. What magistrate's going to look at it and go, fuck it, reasonable discipline. Yeah, right. Back in the Tudor days, mate, it might have been.
Along with all the evidence.
Oh, good, all the evidence, mate.
There you just saw a smirk by Jeff. For a couple of years, I thought that was just a delusion. That he was far more confident than he should be. That smirk, now in hindsight, tells me he knew had smashed the drives. He thought all the evidence was gone. He thought my life was going to be permanently destroyed. He thought that I was going to go to jail, and he thought that everything that I've ever worked for was going to be taken, and he thought I'd never see the children again.
Are you okay? Yeah, I can tell. He looks very distraught. He's very distraught. He was screaming when he was taken. The boys heard it.
Prior to this snatching, my son called me dozens of times crying, asking me to come and collect him from his mother's house. One instance, he was hiding in a dog kennel. He called me, told me he was hiding in the dog kennel, was crying, telling me he wanted me, and then he was heard in the dog kennel. The line went silent. Following this incident, he was taken home and had chili forced in his mouth. He has maintained for 4 years that he wanted to live with his father. At no point has he ever said he wanted to live with his mother. After this incident, there were numerous further attempted snatchings of my son. In every instance, the police failed. Whilst the mother was in breach, as ruled in August 2023, she was in breach of the first final parenting orders, breaching the DVO, entering my property, numerous times trying to snatch my son, subjecting him to traumatic, ongoing incidents and years of fearing being snatched from school. And it's only due to the integrity of the school that he was eventually able to feel safe at school. This snatching was not the last time there was an attempt to subject him to this trauma, and at no time did the father ever subject him to such behaviour. But such is the policing on the Fraser Coast that they encouraged this traumatic event to happen time and time and time again. And I am satisfied the only reason I wasn't arrested time and time again is due to there being credible, independent witnesses at the future snatchings, such as a principal.
Good on you, buddy. While we're here. Hey, by the way, Aaron, you know you wouldn't charge me trespass now, because I made sure of that.
Okay, charge me
Here's another one.
trespassing.
Here's another one on you, buddy.
Yeah, who just entered my property
Yeah.
and stole my son? My abusive has just stormed my house at Polgol Street and taken my son against his will, screaming with my other sons at home. One of the kids that stormed my house to take my son had evidence given against him in a Section 93A interview regarding that my 6-year-old son gave last week. And the police have told me that I should keep him in my care. They've now taken me out, they'll be hiding him somewhere, so if you could please go and make sure my son's safe.
So who lives here?
The grandparents of my son.
How come you're here?
Because he was just taken from my house.
From where? Where's your house?
Polgol Street, Urangan.
As will be evident in another video, this officer breached the Queensland Human Rights Act and subjected me to a frivolous arrest. The arrest was dropped once the prosecution reviewed the O cause, the O cause that this officer should be aware of and should be responding to. She also fabricated a statement saying my son wanted his mother. He never said that. Her own body cam contradicts that. Her own body cam recorded him saying he didn't want to be taken. She arrested me and fabricated a statement that her own body cam contradicts.
What was your name?
So my two stepsons who choose to live with me, their non-biological father, he's just got nothing to do with it, he's a compulsive liar. So my non-biological sons have chosen to live with me because their mum's so violent. And
How do you spell your last name?
spelling? Subject to false claims and a false DVO, which is going to trial. And all the evidence and the support of my stepsons who were abused by their mother prior to them even meeting me is all going to come out in court. Jeff has no idea what's happened today and he's trying to mislead the officer. So he's currently with two people that have one's been suffocating him and the other's been sticking right, and he's in that house with him right now.
This is a repeated pattern. They read the iPad, rather than immediately going and checking on the child.
So have you got a domestic violence, or is it just your ex-partner or your partner?
She's the aggrieved, and the violent is the named person. But that's being fought, and it's all going to come out in court. Numerous records are being subpoenaed. I'm not the bad guy in this story. That'll come out in court.
And what has since come out is that it all came out in court. And now the mother is effectively saying I was always right. However, it didn't seem to matter on this day. Reality didn't seem to matter on this day. The only thing that seemed to matter on this day is Senior Constable Nicola Davies breaching the Queensland Human Rights Act, doing everything she could to traumatise my son, the other children that were used by the mother, and me, and subject me to an intimidating, violent, and unlawful arrest.
So I get this straight, your stepson has attended your address. How old is he?
14.
Okay, is it just him on his own?
I don't know. My stepsons are on their way here. They were in the house and heard screaming, and then immediately called me because my son was being dragged out of the house screaming.
Okay, by your stepson?
Yes.
And he's the 14-year-old?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's trespassed. He's entered a gated community, and then entered my home and dragged my 6-year-old out of there.
Just wait here, mate. We'll go and I'll...
Sure. Can you please make sure he's with the people that have been abusing him? Simon Hendren from the CPIU, he participated in the Section 93A. So if he's in an honest mood, he'll be able to fill you in on what took place and what the allegations were that came out in that. Is over there saying I had kidnapped. Absolutely absurd.
This is another example of the police being misled, not fact-checking and accepting everything that the other side tells them. My son left her home on the routine day that he would. He was filthy dirty, he had cuts all over his legs and he had a chunk of hair missing. There's a video of his collection. Not only did he leave willingly, not only did no one touch him, he wasn't screaming, he wasn't hurt. He'd been calling me crying, asking to be collected, and not only did he leave of his own free will, he ran ahead of his older brothers. He led the way, he reached the car first, he couldn't get out of his mother's property quick enough. As the police believed the tale that I had snatched him, or had him snatched from his mother's home, and they later repeat that on the phone to my mother on their body cam, I will now cut to the video of his collection on the 8th of the 12th, 2019. This was 2 days before Detective Chris O'Brien, gave the mother the hard drives to destroy, as witnessed by 2 of the children.
At least let's hold it first. I can get eyes on. Shh. I can get
selling a lie. There was a Ford Ranger in front of her. A Ford Ranger left the domain, and left the domain in the car behind the Ford Ranger. And I did a U-turn and followed her. Her car is significantly higher powered. With all the Facebook posts and evidence of calling me, hiding in dog kennels. I can't wait for the truth to come out. Relentless Facebook posts. Here's the boys. And obviously the boys are choosing to park at the same where people park. So parked in an unusual, strange position. I certainly have not. Hey boys.
They were strangling when they took him.
Sorry, what was
They
that?
were strangling.
Strangling.
Was
Can
strangling
you go
him.
put...
You've just heard the disclosure from the witness that was present when the 6-year-old was snatched. Despite this disclosure, the police failed to ever speak to him to get this disclosure, and instead decide to breach the Queensland Human Rights Act and arrest the father, leaving the 6-year-old child at ongoing risk, as is later discovered.
the record straight because they're lying through their teeth. Go tell them about the abuse you received before you met me. Just set the record straight. The police are taking it hook, line and sinker, and they're being extremely biased. It's misconduct to be biased. You guys are probably violent too.
What you see here is a police officer sending the most significant witness away. The police have sent a witness away whilst telling that witness, leave the property until they get to the bottom of the matter. In order to get to the bottom of the matter, you should be speaking to the witnesses that were there when the 6-year-old boy was violently snatched against his will. This is not how you conduct an investigation. This is not how you protect a 6-year-old boy. The 6-year-old boy who repeated for 4 years he didn't want to be with them. He wanted to be with his father and his brothers. As 2 trials then reflected in their final parenting orders.
Bloody victims. All these victims being violent. So can you tell me what happened while it's still as fresh as possible in your memory?
I was just laying in bed watching YouTube and I heard screaming, and then halfway out of the park, got him around the neck, dragging him out, and then he's telling the old ladies in there that I'm trying to take off him.
Did you go out and try and help him?
Yeah.
And what happened?
And he started telling the ladies that I was trying to take off him.
And
And then when I was there, she grabbed me on the shoulders and was trying to kick me in the nuts.
okay, so it is a violent attack.
Yeah.
And what were the old ladies doing?
They were just standing there.
Not helping?
They couldn't do anything.
So what did you end up doing?
I ran back to the house and called you.
Called me,
Then I
okay.
called the police.
Did you see?
That was they didn't do too much.
Have you? I've got my his number. Actually, can I start recording video, please?
Yeah.
And see how the police are just being extremely biased and saying that they're only talking to them?
Yeah.
Speaking to the people that are absolutely toxic. But what's Neville? What's Neville?
The people that are broken into a compound.
The people that are broken into a compound. Neville, who's an abusive, grumpy old man, unsupportive, apart from mental issues because of the way he treated her as a child, calling her stupid day in, day out. Are you recording now, mate? Oh, the police told him not to make any more comments.
They said don't make any more comments.
Why would that show his true colours?
Yeah.
Right. And they're too busy being biased trying to get me.
Yeah.
The only man that has stood between you kids. Disgraceful. They're going to have to stop being biased as of today. They have to start taking statements about all the abuse subjected to the kids. And stop telling me it'll cloud my case by getting to the truth. That's what Jason Hendren told me. Oh, this will all cloud your case. You mean it will set the record straight and paint an accurate picture of what's going on? So can you describe exactly what happened? So what were you doing?
I was laying on my bed watching YouTube and I heard...
Do you know where he was in the house?
No.
So was the door not locked?
Door was locked. Yeah, I unlocked it.
Oh my God. So
and then I hear screaming halfway down to the gate.
What do you mean halfway down to the gate?
Like the street.
So what, like
you go out of our driveway,
yep.
Turn right, then left. You know where Lee parks?
Yeah.
Halfway down there.
Yeah.
He's screaming.
Was he screaming?
He was just screaming.
So did it look like he was going by his own free will?
No, he was screaming and he had his arm around his neck and dragging him.
Yeah.
And then grabbed me and was trying to kick me in the nuts.
Did they say anything to you? Is using children to violently abduct. So we obviously have video of when you...
There'll be CCTV in there too. Okay,
so when you took there was you guys recorded the video and he came willingly and on the same pattern of
he walked
shared
straight
parenting.
Down.
The two police officers, Nicola Davies and Lance Steele, failed to get this witness information from my second eldest stepson. This information was lost to them. It was not considered as part of their investigation when they came to their conclusion that the 6-year-old boy was safe on the same property as the drugs, to then be taken home and had chili forced in his mouth, to then be subjected to 2 days of fighting. The two police officers aren't capable of a basic investigation.
We had. And this time he's gone kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing how biased these people are. They're still over there only talking.
After they broke into a compound trespassing.
Yep, broke into the compound. They refused a parenting plan. They've refused to communicate with the lawyers. Our lawyers have sent frequent and detailed emails listing all the abuse that subjects people to, and still to this day there's no allegation of me abusing anyone, and they refuse to have parenting plans. They refuse any reasonable process.
If they ask why I wasn't at home looking after them, I was there buying Christmas presents because Mum wouldn't. Yeah, which is another ongoing example of... Because there's an issue with her partner, she just disowns all of her children.
Yep. And it's absolutely not the way to support children or to encourage children to ever want to return.
The comment I make there will be completely lost on a lady called Laura Dodds. Laura Dodds really needs to reflect on what is taking place.
I can only imagine what garbage he's making up. And they stand there and listen to it. Of course there can't be a narcissistic, insane woman. Such things don't exist. It's only men. I mean, what happens next time she has a falling out with her parents? How dare they traumatise like that? Jeff was standing there going, look, he's fine, he's fine. He was extremely traumatised. There's Jeff. What did he say? What did he say?
Backup squad.
Backup squad. What backup squad? This isn't a fight. I know that's how their family treat this. Everything's a war to them. He was absolutely traumatised, and I was filming when I pulled up to the car, they were on top of him. Yeah. Top of him in the car. He looked absolutely shocked and stunned. when you guys picked him up for his routine visit with me, he came willingly and with enthusiasm and excitement.
We had to jump the gate because she locked it.
Yeah.
He even jumped the gate by himself. It's not like we threw him over.
Yeah. And here they are, still speaking. I suppose all her constant Facebook posts abusing me, I suppose they're fictitious as well.
If he wanted to go with them, why did they have to grab him? Why wouldn't he just willingly walk off the property like he did with us? He's probably been bribed to come with us to get Christmas presents.
He must have opened the door or something. Yeah, they would have bribed him.
Turn this off.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. Can I call my mum?
I might have a number now.
Any chance anyone's got any water or a drink?
There's Coke in there.
I'm going to pass out. I need some water badly.
I only have the email addresses, you know number.
Are you still recording, Jake?
Yeah.
Make sure you keep recording.
Oh, my name's Nicola. Alright? We're not here to, get anyone into trouble. We're just here to help you.
Well, that was certainly a lie. Nicola Davies was there to get his father into trouble, for coming to his rescue, for coming to his aid, for acting reasonably. Nicola Davies was there to get his father into trouble, and by not engaging in a competent investigation and speaking to credible witnesses, all witnesses from both sides.
What's happened today, buddy? What's happened? My brother got you back. Did you want to come back? Or you want to stay with Aaron, did you?
Is clearly recorded in panic. He's frightened. He has a tall police officer standing over the top of him. He's in the close proximity to the people that had violently snatched him, and he was bleeding, as pointed out in the police body cam, but the police officer didn't even react when she was told, and when she looked at the bleeding knee, she didn't seem the slightest bit concerned, and it's certainly not reflected in any of her statements, although she was clearly told. He was a long way away from his father. His father was outside the property by the road. He still said he didn't want to be taken. He was clearly in a state of panic, and he said he wanted his father, although he used his father's name. The conduct of Nicola Davies, the police officer, is absolutely disgraceful and stinks of a police officer that has no capacity to understand the trauma that a child has gone through and has demonstrated no capacity to ensure that she's getting to the bottom of the matter and ensuring the child's safe. The other things that take place on this video are so disgraceful and so traumatic that to protect minors, it's not going to be posted publicly. Nicola Davies had no business treating a 6-year-old boy like this. Nicola Davies did not write in her police statement that he said he didn't want to be taken and that he said he wanted his father, and he was clearly in a state of panic, and the police officer demonstrated absolutely no capacity to understand what was going on or basic psychology of a 6-year-old child going through a traumatic event like that and allowing him safe passage to where he came from, to where he willingly went, as per the video already embedded in this video. What you aren't going to see is the police body cam footage actually captured the perpetrators saying that the father had snatched him 2 weeks earlier. The video proves that didn't happen. However, Senior Constable Nicola Davies takes that hook, line and sinker. He's clearly in an abusive situation. What takes place before this scene is just downright disgusting, that a police officer hasn't got the cognitive ability to see what's happening. This is a complete failure by a corrupt police officer who then made a frivolous arrest and fabricated a police statement. Senior Constable Nicola Davies at no time asks the 6-year-old to explain what happened to him. At no time does Senior Constable Nicola Davies ask him, how were you taken? Did you leave willingly? Did you open the door? Were you screaming? Did anyone come to help you? At this point in time, Nicola Davies hadn't spoken to the older stepbrother who was a witness. Nicola Davies clearly didn't want to engage with the father. Nicola Davies did not speak to the elderly two ladies that were present in the estate where the child was snatched from. Instead, Senior Constable Nicola Davies, without conducting an appropriate investigation or asking the most basic of questions, ushered the boy off to go back in the direction he didn't want to go in, with dozens of phone calls being made from his mother's house to the father, where he was constantly crying, constantly being asked to be collected. Furthermore, for 4 years, that 6-year-old child has maintained he wanted to live with his father. He has told every consultant, every writer, every police officer, every teacher, absolutely everybody for 4 years. Yet Senior Constable Nicola Davies is completely incapable of conducting a basic investigation, ensuring the Queensland Human Rights Act is applied, that people are treated humanely, that a child is safe, that an investigation is done competently. She instead decides to arrest the parent that in 2 trials is granted custody of the children in the best interest of the children. Nicola Davies gets an F. Nicola Davies has abused the child. Nicola Davies has caused permanent psychological, physical, and financial trauma to the father and by effect to the children, who are also psychologically affected for life by this police officer's complete incapacity to perform her role. It is very concerning watching the full footage of Senior Constable Nicola Davies. There's claims made to Nicola Davies that police have said that the father deleted all the footage, but there was footage on a phone. There was no footage on a phone, and there was no footage deleted. While this account is being given on body cam footage to Nicola Davies, there's no disclosure that Detective Chris O'Brien had given all the hard drives to the mother 10 days prior to this incident. That, considering there's a signed affidavit by Detective Chris O'Brien saying that he had given all the drives to from the 12th to the 14th of December 2019, 10 days prior to this day. There's no disclosure of that on the police body cam footage. Instead, there's a claim that police have said, I deleted all the footage, although I didn't delete any footage, and the footage supports exactly what I said because I told the truth the whole time and nothing but the truth. It's very concerning that there's clearly a false narrative going on here, that there's a claim that the police take hook, line and sinker, even though the police gave her the drives. She was seen by the children smashing the drives. It's in a police statement that they failed to secure the drives, that they decided to give her the drives. No information, apart from the CCTV that wasn't deleted, no other information, such as the CCTV of all the other incidents, the numerous fights, numerous neighbours, the attacks that the children and I were subjected to that were all saved on those drives, as well as all the other intellectual property. None of that has been provided. Detective Chris O'Brien has written an affidavit where he claims he gave the hard drives to the mother from the 12th of December to the 14th of December 2029 to copy data required for a family law matter. No information, no data has ever been provided for any matter. For Detective Chris O'Brien's claim to have any credibility, someone must be able to provide something from those drives and advise to what court that information has been provided to. What has taken place is police allowed the drives to be damaged, then they disposed of them before any matter went to court. They failed to comply with the prosecution rules, which require all evidence to be provided to the court so the court can evaluate all evidence and make an informed decision. Rather than doing this, police fabricated a forensic report and then withdrew it once it was pointed out to them that the CCTV wasn't deleted, that they had a copy of it, and that there was a second copy that they left with prior to then giving her the drives to damage the remaining copy. The false narrative that the police are accepting is just bizarre. That police have written an affidavit claiming another set of events, and these police officers are accepting yet another set of events.
Take him back.
It doesn't add up.
Okay.
It was at this point the police had decided to arrest the father without speaking to the second oldest stepson who had arrived and was a witness, without engaging with the father to even remotely the same degree as the mother. The father's not yet aware that he's about to be arrested, but when the police approach the father, his foresight is acutely tuned, and you can see where this is going by the amount of time the police spent speaking to the other side that were violent. This wasn't a tit-for-tat episode as per the collection of 2 weeks earlier in this video clip. Came willingly and freely and wasn't grabbed or choked. As per the disclosures in this video by the second eldest stepson, he was screaming. He was held around the throat, was attacked, and the police have taken no reasonable action to speak to the second eldest stepson. They've failed dismally. They subjected a man to a false arrest on Christmas Eve, to nearly 12 months of trauma, financial pain, and facing frivolous charges that were dropped the moment the prosecution listened to the Triple O calls. This matter should have been largely decided by the Triple O calls, which were the first part of this process, the first sequence of events. These police officers demonstrated no capacity whatsoever. And once this frivolous charge was dropped after nearly 12 months of further trauma, financial abuse, costs, expenses, Nicola Davies then set out in a further malicious campaign against the father, and that will be covered in another video.
We'll leave out who she is for now. Boys, can you come close and record this? So I now want to make a formal claim about police bias. That when you came and arrested me from my home, and I was perfectly cooperative, all the cameras will show that I was perfectly cooperative as I normally am, and I was just expecting due process to finally take its course. Now, when police came and arrested me and protected the two monsters from the victim, from all the other children, at no point did anyone ever go and speak to other members of that house. You only spoke to the people making the accusations, and that's just absurd. You know, they didn't validate anything, they didn't check the integrity of anything, and what they have just done now, invading a home, dragging him out screaming by the neck, attacking him, entering a compound, racing around a compound, trespassing, that's not normal. And we have video footage of when the boys collected for our routine regular visit, and he came willingly, and they asked him, and he was running, and he was relieved, and there's audio and video to prove that. What took place today was not was abuse. He's in shock, and he doesn't want to be going through this. And
my insight here to what is going on is again acutely tuned. Nicola Davies' body cam footage detected everything I'm referring to, and at this point in time I didn't have the benefit of seeing her body cam footage. My insight, my foresight is more acutely tuned than Nicola Davies is to being in the moment and being an eyewitness, being the person that the body cam is actually strapped to.
You guys are still being biased, and when I spoke to Jason Hendren about the abuse that been subjected to, the suffocation from the other physical abuse by as well as he told me that he would want to be careful what he investigates because it might cloud my investigation. So that is police bias and that is against the rules. So I now formally am telling you that I allege that police are being extremely biased. Is in extreme danger. Is in extreme danger, and I believe you're facilitating them being put in harm's way by dangerous people.
Okay, so we're not here to discuss the incident that occurred at your other residence with this things like that. We're not the investigating officers with that, and I can tell you that police don't put charges like that without some evidence there, okay?
The only evidence proved that the police tales and charges were wrong. And as for not being one of the investigating officers, Lance Steele was one of the investigating officers, and as he told the mother on his body cam just a few minutes ago in this incident, he was one of the attending officers. And this is all part of an unfolding event, risk to children, and it's absolutely relevant. And at this point in time, the police are about to arrest the father with his acutely in-tuned insight and foresight, and have again not spoken to either of the stepsons, particularly the stepson that was a witness today and saw the 6-year-old effectively being strangled, in the words of the witness, and dragged.
We've listened to you.
No, you haven't listened to me.
You're just going to continue to interrupt me.
Unfortunately, more comments need to be added here. Nicola Davies claims she's listened to my side. No. The body cam footage shows our own footage shows that they spent a significant amount of time speaking to the other side. They still haven't spoken to the second eldest stepson, standing near me, leaning on my car, and what he witnessed, what he was subjected to. He was assaulted. The 6-year-old was assaulted. I was assaulted by Jeff, the intoxicated, marijuana-growing, smoking person that was there, the man swearing his head off. We were assaulted. The police aren't listening to us, haven't listened to us, have not spoken to at all, and are now being aggressive and making an unlawful arrest. I have every right to be angry. I have every right to be defensive, and I have every right to be distraught and traumatised by them breaching our human rights.
Calm down, Aaron, calm down. Am I on speaker?
Yes.
They're discussing the incident now involving what has just
Well,
happened.
what is relevant now is child safety.
Aaron,
what is relevant now is child safety. Please continue.
Okay, so secondly, you want to put in a formal complaint about police.
Yes.
That's your prerogative to do,
Absolutely.
but not to us, okay? We don't take complaints. That's way above our head,
Okay.
all right? So that's got nothing...
Yes, the cognitively impaired Senior Constable Lance Steele doesn't take complaints. What he does is fail to investigate, fail to speak to witnesses, fail to protect children, fail to recognise the foresight of the other people around, fails to see the outcomes that the courts will order, and makes an unlawful, frivolous arrest in breach of the Queensland Human Rights Act, abuses his power, and does so arrogantly whilst displaying his complete incapability to perform his role.
To do with us.
All right. I've been reading that first point. Okay. I've attempted the first point of contact, so now I escalate it further. That's fine. Okay. I'm going to hang up. Okay. We're going to have to put you on. Okay. Be quiet, man.
All right. So, with regards to the incident today, okay, we've spoken to people inside there. We've spoken to as well. We don't believe that they are in harm's way right now.
The mother's affidavit of taking the child home and putting chili in his mouth proves you wrong, Lance Steele. You haven't spoken to the second eldest stepson, who got out of the car and disclosed to me immediately that the 6-year-old was strangled. You can't do your job, Lance Steele. Nicola Davies' body cam footage clearly recorded the 6-year-old panicking, distressed, disclosing he didn't want to be taken. As you could see earlier in this video, drugs all over that property. The uncle was drinking beer in your presence, and he was smoking a marijuana joint when I arrived, which was made from the marijuana plants on the property. Lance Steele, you are incompetent. Lance Steele, that 6-year-old was not safe. Lance Steele, and as per a February 2020 family law affidavit. The mother took him home, forced chili in his mouth. The kids have then disclosed that there was 2 days of fighting on that property, and they asked not to go back. They then went to Sydney. Lance Steele, you are an incompetent clown. You have no business making unlawful arrests. You have no business traumatising someone like that. Lance Steele, you should be held accountable for your action, your conduct, and so should your partner, Nicola Davies.
So, as you were saying to us that we are leaving them in a dangerous environment,
There you go, Mum.
we don't feel that that is the case, okay? If you feel that that's...
You've spent a lot of time speaking to them, and you still haven't spoken to us about the abuse that we're subjected to by them. Still, you've made a decision that he is safe, and you still haven't spoken to us.
Aaron, you're under arrest, okay, for breaching.
As the gross these two officers is too unbearable to listen to anymore, I'm going to mute these police officers from here on.
May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your track. And until we meet again, may God hold you safely in the palm of his hands. May the hills come down to greet you. May the rocks give shelter in the storm. May the dust be soft beneath your feet, and the dark give rest before the dawn. And until we meet again, may God hold you safely in the palm of his hands. 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 Safely in the palm of his hands. Many memories, may your death be sweet and full of peace. May your hope last an eternity, and your joy carry on and never cease. And until we meet again, may God hold you safely in the palm of his hands. And until we meet again, may God hold you safely in the palm of his hands. Let's sing it. In the palm of his hand. In the palm of his hand. In the palm of his hand. Safely in the palm of his hand. Go again. In the palm of his hand. In the palm of his hand. In the palm of his hand. Safely in the palm of his hand. Rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and the rain fall soft upon your track. And until we meet again, may God hold you safely in the palm of his hands. May the hills come down to greet you. May the rocks give shelter in the storm. May the dust be soft beneath your feet, and the dark give rest before the dawn.
Thank you.